In today's video, I'm going to teach you build a responsive grid layout in Webflow. We'll start from a blank canvas and finish with a clean, responsive grid that looks great on desktop, tablet, and mobile. If you're following along, open your browser and head to webflow.com, then log in. When you land on your dashboard, pick the project where you want to create the layout. That opens the Webflow Designer, which is where all the magic happens. First, add a section so your grid has a clear home on the page. From the Add panel, drag a section onto the canvas. For neat organization, rename it in the navigator to something like Grid Section. Clear names make your project easier to manage as it grows. Next, drop a grid element inside that section. Webflow gives you a default 2x2 grid, which is perfect to start. If you need more or fewer cells, open the grid settings and add or remove rows and columns. Think about your content before you change the structure. A little planning here avoids rework later. Now fill your grid cells. You can drag in div blocks for flexible containers, images for visuals, text for headings or paragraphs, and buttons for calls to action. Customize each cell based on what you want to showcase. Keep related elements grouped so they're easier to style consistently. Quick note before we style. Since this is a website tool, you'll find a link to Webflow in the description, or you can go directly to webflow.com to get started. Time to polish. In the Style panel, adjust padding and margins to control breathing room. Add background colors or images to cells for visual hierarchy, and use borders, shadows, or rounded corners to create depth. In the grid settings, tweak the gap between rows and columns to keep everything balanced. Small, consistent gaps often read cleaner than large, uneven spacing. Make it responsive by switching through desktop, tablet, and mobile views. On smaller screens, reduce the number of columns, adjust row spans, and resize gaps so content remains readable. If you want the grid to adapt automatically, try autofit or autofill in your grid template. This helps your layout respond gracefully as the viewport changes. For a touch of motion, add interactions. Select any element, open the Interactions panel, and apply simple hover effects or subtle fade-ins. Use preview mode to test timing and ease so animations feel natural rather than distracting. When you're happy, publish. Click Publish in the top right, choose your Webflow subdomain or connect a custom domain, and your responsive grid layout is live. That's it. You now know how to build a fully responsive grid layout in Webflow. Customize your grid with different elements, styles, and interactions to make your website layout look professional. Thanks for watching.